Welcome to another In Wheel Time podcast, a 30-minute mini version of the In Wheel Time car show that airs live every Saturday morning, 8 to 11 a.m. Central. I had to gather up my thoughts here.
I had to push the right button.
What button to push?
Lots of buttons.
Podcasting and streaming around the globe by a miracle of God. It's the In Wheel Time car talk show. Just ahead, hot rods and heroes in the Ozarks. We'll talk to Nathan Skelton. Hey, George, you listening? Later,
no relation, though.
Topless Jeff. It's a special story. Just ahead on the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Howdy! Along with Mike Out of This World Mars. We always need more Jeff Zekin. I'm Don Armstrong. Glad you could join us on this kind of humid and muggy day here in the Houston, Texas area. But all that's about to change tonight, from what I understand.
Yeah, we're going to get
I always
some
like to start the show with, it gives you an idea
the weather
of,
report.
It gives you an idea of what we're dealing with here. Because I think that right now it's about 70 degrees and very humid. It's going to be a warm day, and then storms roll in tonight. And tomorrow's high temperature is supposed to be in the 50s.
I think a little warmer than that. But you talked about buttons, pushing a lot of buttons. You know what's better than buttons? Velcro. We need a Velcro board. All this needs to be Velcro.
And then we need and have some Velcro gloves, like they use in those amusement park things where you jump and you stick onto the wall.
Oh yeah, we need one of those in here.
We do. You prop me up.
You jump up there, we leave you up there.
Hey, thanks so much for joining us today. We always like to get off the beginning of the show with some humor. Well, what we consider humor.
Wow.
We don't know whether you think it's humor or not. Just get on with the show, Don, and shut up. Heroes and hot rods in the Ozarks. And I told the boys, I said, we got kind of a Ozarky kind of thing going on here. And we're not talking about water here either. We're talking about automotive kind of events. Heroes and hot rods in the Ozarks. And joining us right now is Nathan Skelton. Nathan, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Well, I hope that you are ready for this.
Yeah, I think I can handle it.
I'm sure you can. Most hot rod guys can. They say it and then they go, "Why the heck did I do that?"
Yeah.
So June the 7th and 8th, the 6th annual Heroes and Hot Rods. First of all, let's get the landscape here. Are you with a car club?
So I am the director for Heroes and Hot Rods in the Ozarks. We're a 501c3 veteran automotive enthusiast brand organization here in Northwest Arkansas.
Very nice. So this is your once a year deal?
So this is our main event we host every year. We do 3 other cars and coffee events every year, a spring, summer, and fall theme. This year we're doing it at the local Air Museum here in Northwest Arkansas in Fayetteville. And then our main event that we host every year that continues to grow and get bigger and bigger is our main one, June 7th and 8th.
I mentioned this in our tease that we had earlier before we went on the air this morning. My girlfriend and I were talking about the fact that you were going to be on today. And I said, Mars has kind of a Ozarky kind of thing going on, and we really have never delved into the car thing that's going on up there in the Ozarks and in Arkansas in general. And we talked to somebody last week or a week before, Mars?
Last week,
and probably somebody that you know. But at any rate, the bottom line is that she said to me right out of the box, she says, it's beautiful up there. And I said, I do know that because I have traveled through Arkansas. And I have a very old radio friend of mine that moved back to Arkansas after being here in the Houston, Texas area for 50 years. And I get it. It is beautiful up there. You got a change of seasons. You got rolling hills. I mean, it's a pretty cool place. So we talked about the fact, why not do a little 4 or 5 day trip to the Ozarks? Go up there, do a car thing, go to the hot springs or wherever it is, some sort of a touristy resort kind of place. And I thought, man, that sounds really good.
Yeah, it's phenomenal up here. There's so much stuff to do. This area is growing rapidly. You've got Crystal Bridges here in Northwest Arkansas. It's an amazing art museum. Biking and hiking trails all over the area. We're one of the largest, if not the largest, biking area in the United States that's funded publicly versus, national parks and stuff like that. We're very blessed to have organizations like Walmart, JB Hunt, Tyson that are all here in Northwest Arkansas that help improve and grow the community.
And feed the country with Tyson.
There you go.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Clearly, there is a large car culture going on up there, too.
Absolutely. There's a huge car culture that, Jeff's event, Jeff Yurgovich, you spoke with him last week.
Yep.
His show in Eureka Springs has been going on in Eureka Springs for over 30 years.
Do you go to that?
I do. I go every year. Believe it or not, I kind of help him out with his social media. So I've known Jeff for about 10 years. So.
Well, helping him out with his social media. That's what us car guys do. We help each other out, and not just on cars, but, flyers, whatever the case may be. I mean, if somebody needs something in the car community, by golly, we're there to give each other a hand and actually move forward the car culture, if you will.
Yeah, we bounce ideas off of each other all the time. Jeff's got a ton of experience in the racing industry. He raced Trans Am Series cars back in the 80s and early 90s. Did a lot of that. And I've got a lot of experience in event promotion. And so we're constantly bouncing ideas off each other because he doesn't know the social media side of things. And I don't know some of the car culture that he does. And so it helps out a lot.
Well, let's talk about your June 7th and 8th event, the 6th annual. Now, how many cars are you expecting?
Somewhere between 200 and 300 is a conservative estimate. We'll have 3,000 spectators come through over 2 days. We do a big swap meet, arts and craft festival. We'll have monster trucks on display. We do helicopter rides. So we have a local company that comes in. They do helicopter rides for people. We do a giant live auction from donated items where the proceeds go directly back to veterans here within our community.
Is it all an outdoor event?
It is an outdoor event. It's at Holland Barn Venue. It's a venue here owned by my partner, Eric Holland. He's a 26-year Air Force vet, and he owns the property, and so we host everything there. It's a giant open grassed area, lots of shade, lots of trees, really cool barn venue. It's just a lot of fun. We're going to have Ryan Daniel, a country music artist, a 10-year Air Force veteran, and a local Arkansas native there doing a concert for everybody. So it's going to be a lot of fun.
Well, what do you consider hot rods? Is it open to anybody and everybody?
Absolutely. We do heroes and hot rods. I grew up around Studebakers and Fords. But everything, we're open to everything, modern to classic. What's really great is over the years, we're seeing more and more classics and more hot rods, the 30s and 40s, early 50s, showing up to the events, lots of 60s stuff. But we don't exclude anybody. It's all about raising funds and awareness for veterans within our community.
And how much does it cost to register?
So if you register right now before May 8th, it's $20 and then $25 the day of.
$20, that's it?
$20, 2 days. It gets you in. If you're a spectator, it's $5. The great thing is we allow veterans in for free to the event, so we can honor them and recognize them for their hard work and what they've dedicated to this country. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. We'll have 30 to 40 arts and craft vendors, and then of course our swap meet and all the other goodies. So
what city is this in?
So it's in Heifel, Arkansas. It's 3 miles southwest of Bentonville, Arkansas.
Oh.
Okay, so you're right up there by the Walmarts.
Yeah. So Walmart's corporate office is in Bentonville, and so we're just literally right outside of it.
We've been showing some of your pictures and your flyer event while we were talking. I've got it rolling for you so that folks can see.
And I assume that barn that sits behind that hot rod, that's the barn you're talking about?
Yeah, so Holland Barn there. That's the main building. He's got another one, a chapel on there. He does a lot of weddings.
So wait a minute, so you can have a car show in a barn, and then you could go next door to the chapel and get married.
Yeah, we can get you hitched.
Yeah, okay.
Do you supply the bride, or you have to bring your own?
I think it would be best if you brought your own.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
You can go to the kissing booth and recruit one.
yeah, that's
That's
the
right,
kissing
that's
booth.
right.
All right. How many is all the slots filled, or do you have a limitation on how many can enter?
No, the most we've had is just over 300 a couple of years ago, and we still had plenty of room. So it's a pretty large venue. So we'll accept everybody until the police department tells us, hey, you got too many people out here. You need to shoot people away.
Have you ever had that happen to you?
No, but we had about 3,500 people in 2021 show up.
Yeah.
And it was a little scary.
Yeah, I'll
There was
bet.
a lot.
See, those are the events that we show up, the cops show up. So
That's
maybe
right.
it's a good
Yeah,
thing.
We're used to
That's
that.
right. And you know what today is, don't you?
Saturday.
It's Saturday.
Yeah,
420.
it's Saturday, but it's also 420. Yeah. Okay. Just thought I'd throw that in there.
Well, you're gonna have to, sooner or later. You're gonna have to explain it.
Who, me?
Yeah.
That doesn't need to be explained.
Okay.
People that I know, they know all about that.
If you know, you know.
You know. If you don't know, look it up.
Stop by the studio.
Stop after the show.
After the show, yeah.
Automotive and motorcycle swap meet. Parts or whole complete bikes and stuff.
So we'll have a car corral set up for anything that's running and has an engine in it, and then we'll have just the parts and everything separate from that. So you can register $20, get you a running vehicle to put in the swap meet or in the car corral, and then if you're wanting a booth, we sell them 20 by 20 squares. They're $20.
How many people?
Wow.
There's a 20 by
by
20
20.
going
Yeah, it
on
seems
here.
to be.
How many people?
So what we did is we gathered data from Dallas to Springfield, Missouri to Tulsa, and we were trying to be the most competitive, and so that's where we put it in. That $20 mark seems to be a very reasonable
That's
amount.
the sweet spot. No, I get it. How far away do you get people coming to this show?
So we've had people as far away as Alaska attend. In 2021, we had a group of guys on motorcycles, the Air Force vets. They rode down from Alaska during the summer. We had it a little bit later in the year, so it was probably a little bit easier for them to ride down. But they show up. But we have people from all over the United States attend. It's pretty awesome to see the large variety. We have a ton of people from Dallas that come up, and then a ton of people from Kansas City.
How far is it from Dallas? Do you know off the top of your head?
5-ish hours.
5 hours, so easily drivable.
So
Yeah.
So how far are you from Eureka Springs or Hot Springs?
An hour.
Yeah.
Maybe.
So
At most. I can get to Jeff's house in about an hour.
So it goes back to what Don was saying earlier. You know, you could literally go up there with a few days of vacation, check out Arkansas. You could literally go to Jeff's event and then vacation around Arkansas and then come to your event and make the whole week out of it. Your wife would love that.
Don't give
Your
me any.
wife would love that.
I'm not married, so
Well, that's probably a good thing. You might get
it's
to
a good
go.
thing for her.
Yes.
That's for sure. All right. What is there to eat around there? You're gonna bring some food trucks or what?
Yeah, we've got a slew of food trucks coming in. Tons of stuff for the vendors, for kids, and so a little bit for everybody. The biggest thing that we as an organization, we didn't want to be that event that only had stuff for car people. We wanted to be able to spread it out and have stuff for the ladies, for people that weren't interested in cars, because we wanted to make it more about veterans and helping pay respects and raise funds for them, because they've sacrificed so much for this country. So we have a lot to do for anybody.
Well, it's a car show, kind of like this car show. We try to appeal to women, men, and teenagers too, for that matter.
The cops show up.
And then the cops show up, and then it all goes down. But
Sign a few autographs.
we sign a few as we're handcuffed. It's kind of like a Houdini routine.
Yeah.
Well, all right. So online, where do we go to get more information?
Heroes and Hot Rods, Ozarks.com.
Heroes and
find us on.
now, what? So the and is the
Ampersand or the word?
ampersand? Is it what? What? How?
Yeah, that is. But I believe our website is an N instead of that.
Heroes, Hot Rods, Ozarks.com.
You can find us on Facebook. Search Heroes and Hot Rods in the Ozarks. You can find us on Instagram. We just started a TikTok page, so we're everywhere.
Well, I see here Heroes, Hot Rods, Ozarks.com.
Yeah. Our email is heroesandhotrodozarks.com.
Oh my God, it's all way too confusing. Mars, are you going to put
You're
a link?
welcome.
You're going to put a link to their stuff?
Yes, and we've been showing their flyer and stuff up there.
Okay. So if you're interested, I would
it was on our
encourage you.
Facebook page
I
yesterday.
would encourage you to check it out. It sounds like a great time. Do you have room for a car show, like our car talk show up there?
Absolutely. We've got, you guys come up, we'll put you in the VIP booth upstairs and kind of overlooks everything.
Away from the public.
Yeah.
That's right. So all you can see is our heads looking out
right.
the window,
The
going,
talking
"Hey!"
heads, yeah.
Kind of like they do in the jail.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
hey, look, there's Armstrong up there. I see his head up there. He's waving. Yeah, I got it. All right. Well, like I said, I'm thinking maybe a trip up there. Now, when is your next event after this?
So our first Cars and Coffee event of the season is next Saturday at the Arkansas Air and Military Museum in Fayetteville.
No. So after the June 7th and 8th event.
Gotcha. So our event for 2025, we haven't secured a date yet. Because it's a wedding venue, we got to make sure we plan around.
Okay, let me reword
business.
this, because you said at the beginning of this interview that you personally are involved in 4 shows a year.
Oh, okay. Well, I do Jeff's show every year, and then we do 3 Cars and Coffee events in our main event every year.
Okay,
So
I got you. All right.
if that
So
That clears it up for me. Yes, exactly.
There you
Because if for us car guys, we could find at least 2 or 3 events on Saturday and 2 or 3 events on Sunday somewhere around here. And then if we're going to travel, like next weekend, we're going to be on
Just
the
a little bit more planning, yeah. That's all.
the Hot Rod Tour of Texas next weekend. That starts on Thursday evening. So we got lots of choices to make.
Oh yeah, there's tons to do up here. You would be busy for a whole week if you came up here.
So I'm thinking what I'm going to do is I'm going to glom on to your show, and I'm going to set up tours by in wheel time, and we'll be able to tour garages. We'll be able to go over and see Jeff. Little daytime run.
Liquor stores,
yeah. And
but I have to tell you, Don, if that happens, if you go to Hot Springs, you have to keep your pants on. It doesn't just because it says Hot Springs and there's hot springs there, you can't go like you normally go. You have to keep your pants on.
Dang it!
like you normally go.
Well, I guess we've tortured you enough.
Wrap that
Nathan.
up.
By the way, while we have you, before we say goodbye, do you happen to know a fellow by the name of George Skelton?
I don't.
Well, I went to grade school, middle school, high school with George, and we're still in touch. George lives up in East Texas, and he is a Skelton. And are you familiar with Betty Skelton?
No, I'm not.
Okay,
No.
well, see, there's another thing. So you've given us all this information. Now we're giving you this information. So look up Betty Skelton and find George Skelton on Facebook. I know it's old school, but so are we. Do that, and I think that you'll be surprised to learn, especially about Betty Skelton.
Yep.
Okay, I can do that.
And one more time, Nathan, what's the dates on your event?
So June 7th and 8th.
Okay.
Perfect.
All right.
Very good.
Hey, man, it's great to talk to you. Thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate you.
Thank you guys for having me on.
Thank you.
All right.
All right. Now, ladies and gentlemen, something that you've all been standing by waiting to see and hear. It's coming up right after a quick break. It's
The tease.
yeah,
I guess.
it's well, It has something to do with going topless.
I just hope I live up to the expectation he's been talking about.
Well, I did want to remind you.
Big.
I did want to remind you that the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show is available 24/7 through the iHeartRadio app. Just look for In Wheel Time Car Talk. And a new daily podcast is available from your favorite podcast provider. We also video stream our 3-hour weekly show on Facebook, YouTube, and InWheelTime.com. The In Wheel Time Car Talk Show continues after this quick break. Pro-Am Auto Accessories has been serving Houston's auto enthusiasts since 1984, providing world-class products for sports cars, European sedans, and American muscle. Pro-Am is known as the place to go to find exclusive and hard-to-find parts and accessories. Pro-Am is one of the very first distributors in the USA for brands such as Recaro, Redline, Momo, Corbo, and Simpson. Located in the heart of Houston's premier retail and service corridor, the Galleria area, Pro-Am's walk-in storefront includes an 8,000-square-foot warehouse, showroom, and installation bays. Pro-Am not only sells parts and accessories, but also offers installation and service. Pro-Am is now reaching a worldwide audience through Pro-Am.com, taking its local reputation to the rest of the world. At Pro-Am Auto, you'll be dealing with a small group of professionals who truly want to help you with your automotive needs. If you don't see what you're looking for on the website, call and Pro-Am will lend you a hand. Pro-Am Auto, 6125 Richmond at Green Ridge in Houston's Galleria area. Call them at 713-781-7755. Want to feel good about something special you did for someone special? In Wheel Time and the original Lupi Tortilla group of Tex-Mex restaurants have joined together to help a very worthy cause, God's Garage, a Christian-based 501c3 charity. We know there are lots of places and organizations out there where you can donate a car, truck, or SUV, but we're asking you, our car enthusiast family, to consider donating to God's Garage. Visit godsgarage.org and learn about its mission, the women that have been helped, how each one is screened, and about their Restore You program. A car donation is an easy way to make a difference in the lives of others. God's Garage needs good operating vehicles, but will take all types in working and non-working condition. Make your heart and soul feel good by donating your gently used vehicle and help support single mothers, widows, and wives of deployed military at godsgarage.org. Saturday and Sunday, May 4th and 5th, you're invited to enjoy the 28th annual Keels and Wheels Concours d'Elegance. See the largest collection of classic cars and boats in the U.S. on display at the beautiful Lakewood Yacht Club in Seabrook, Texas. This year's Keels and Wheels features 60 years of Ford Mustangs and Donzi boats. There's plenty of free parking and discount tickets are available online at keels-wheels.com. It's Keels and Wheels, Saturday and Sunday, May 4th and 5th at the Lakewood Yacht Club in Seabrook. In Wheel Time will be there too. We'll see you there. You know, there are some mornings that work and just some that don't, and this is one of those that doesn't.
Oh, Mr. Chatterbox
here's
over
a
there.
Button, there's a button there, and there's a button over here. What ought I do? I don't know.
Chatty.
Welcome back to the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. I want to tell you that if you'd like to get in touch with us, I don't know why, but if you'd like to, the address is info@inwheeltime.com.
Mm-hmm.
Mars is in charge of that.
Mm-hmm.
You get all those, don't you?
Yes, sir.
And
Good, bad, and ugly.
I know, and the ones that are trolling for any kind of money that we can spend with them, those kind.
Well, there's those kind. I get 8 or 10 of them a day. Yeah, and then I get the occasional one. The one I loved was, "Who's Becky?"
Did you read that to her?
No, it came from her.
It came from who's Becky. That's right. All right.
Poor Becky. We love you, Becky.
Yeah, we do. I don't know how you do what you do. That's Jeff's. I'm sorry. That's Mike's wife. Speaking of Jeff has a special feature this morning called Going Topless with Jeff Zeke.
That is not the episode. You sent this to me. He wrote that. You sent me the episode or the segment, and I said, that's great. I'll do that. So,
well, see, it says right here, drop tops or how I learned to go topless.
Mike
right
drinks. There. He drinks a lot. He
this
sits on the computer. He buys stuff in the middle of the night and all that.
Yeah, he's one of those kind of guys.
Anyways, that's not what it is. It's convertibles under $30,000.
Okay,
there you go. Don't sound near as much fun.
No, well, we just lost half of our viewing audience.
There you go, in 28 countries. But here's what we got to start out with. This first one is a 2009 Pontiac Solstice GXP. This rascal can be gathered up for $11,600.
My daughter would die to have one of those.
This is
And you know, there's really nothing wrong with them.
No.
No, there's not.
This is called a GM Kappa convertible, sold in the U.S. as a Saturn Sky in a Pontiac Solstice. It had a 177 horsepower, 2.4-liter four-cylinder engine. A rare hardtop Solstice is the pricey collectible, but the convertible remains an affordable option. It does bring a solid chassis, sporty handling, and room for some serious rubber under those curvy fenders.
Ooh.
And it's convertible. It blows both of your hairs.
Yeah, all three of them. There you go. So the next one we have here is a 1998 Mitsubishi Eclipse Spider GST. This rascal is $12,400. The Eagle Talon, Plymouth Laser, and Mitsubishi Eclipse offered buyers 3 flavors of stylish, affordable sport compact as part of the partnership known as what? Diamond Star Motors, or DSM. Unfortunately for the Plymouth fans, the Laser never made it to the second generation, which lasted from 1994 to 1998. More bad news for the Mopar brand. The Eagle, while available with some of the powertrains as the Mitsubishi, was not offered as a convertible. So the sole drop top is the Eclipse, packing a 210 horsepower, 2-liter turbocharged 4G63 engine.
That was a bad to the bone little
Don't know
car.
what that means, but there it is. Okay, next on our agenda would be, who's got it? Chevrolet Corvette 2012. This rascal, $22K. The C6 Corvettes are a lot of car for the money, especially the later models. Ditched the 400 horsepower Cathedral Port LS2 for the bump in the displacement and better breathing of the LS3. For those that insist on 3 pedals, Don, the standard Corvette convertible comes in well under the price gap that you get with a Tremec TR6060 6-speed transmission and the 430 horsepower LS3 V8 for a fabulous top-down soundtrack. Now that soundtrack,
I like the way you wrote that.
I didn't write that. It was somebody else wrote that.
I like that car except for the headlights. That's the headlights on it, particularly like on the yellow one and the white one, things like that. They just don't do it for me.
I know, they don't do
me
me
either,
either,
don't
but
do it
it's
for me.
okay. It's a nice car.
But that's okay too. And this is a banana yellow, I guess they call it.
I like it.
71 Volkswagen Carmen Ghia. $22,900 for this rascal, despite sharing its underpinnings and powertrain with the VW Beetle. The Type 14 Carmen Ghia managed to look special thanks to its hand-finished body and concept car styling. Enjoy the simple, easy-to-service Beetle drivetrain and ample aftermarket products to keep this curvy cruiser running. I saw one of these in the wild about 10 days ago. It was a little bit rough,
up, yeah.
But they were working on it, and it's going to be a nice car. It needed a little TLC and some good hands on it. So the last one we have here for today on this cruise-in is my favorite. I love this car. It is a 1969 Mercury Cougar XR7, 28.8 from 67 to 68, and it's a good car.
Thank you, sir. Today's In Wheel Time Car Talk Show is sponsored by the group of original Lupi Tortilla restaurants in Houston, Beaumont, and College Station. Gulf Coast Auto Shield, where we're going to be joining John at the Car Social coming up that you'll be hearing about here in just a moment. And Pro-Am Auto Accessories, we thank them too. We continue right after this quick break. The original group of Lupi Tortilla restaurants will have you telling your family and friends just what the original recipes mean when it comes to the best fajitas in Southeast Texas. Founder Stan Holt invites you to visit the original Lupi Tortilla near I-10 and Highway 6. Here's the original house that inspired the design of all the rest and the original charm that helped make Lupi Tortilla the go-to destination for Houston Tex-Mex. Speaking of original, nothing can compete with the original lime pepper marinade that everyone will agree makes Lupi Tortilla award-winning beef fajitas the best anywhere. Lupi Tortilla Katy is another location that gives you the same quality and service Houstonians have come to expect at Lupi's. It's located just off I-10 and the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard in Katy. Find yourself in Aggie Land? Head to the Lupi Tortilla in College Station, located just around the corner from Kyle Field. It's a great place to enjoy those famous frozen margaritas before or after the game. Headed east to Louisiana, stop in at the Lupi Tortilla in Beaumont. It too's on I-10. You can't miss it. The original group of Lupi Tortilla restaurants invites you in for the best Tex-Mex anywhere. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is having another car social Saturday morning, May 18th from 8 to 11. It's a car cruise-in like no other. Expect Ferraris, Lamborghinis, Corvettes, and the featured brand Porsche. Get social at this special cruise-in event. You'll also see Gulf Coast Auto Shield's private workshop and learn about their many products and services. Questions are welcomed. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is easy to get to at 11275 South Sam Houston Tollway near West Airport Boulevard, just south of the Southwest Freeway. The Car Social featuring Porsche takes place Saturday morning, May 18th from 8 to 11. Tell your friends, and no matter what car you have, bring it and enjoy this rare opportunity to see some of Houston's finest rides. In Wheel Time will bring its car talk show there too, so join us for another Car Social at Gulf Coast Auto Shield, Saturday morning, May 18th, 8 to 11 at 11275 South Sam Houston Tollway, just south of the Southwest Freeway. Visit gcautoshield.com to see the show flyer for more details. That's it for this podcast episode of the In Wheel Time Car Show. I'm Don Armstrong, inviting you to join us for our live show every Saturday morning, 8 to 11 a.m. Central on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and our InWheelTime.com website. Podcasts are available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, iHeart Podcast, Podcast Addict, TuneIn, Pandora, and Amazon Music. Keep listening, and we'll see you soon.